We're going to have our black athletes in sports history. So I'm going to go ahead and take a step back on this one first. Let Ezra take it away. Go ahead.
All right. So when you think of famous black athletes, there's one person that you can think about that broke the color barrier, to just drop a hint, and that's Jackie Robinson. Jackie Robinson's one of the most famous and one of my favorite ever athletes of all time. And people don't give him enough recognition for how good he actually was at baseball. Like, they only talk about him breaking the color barrier and everything he's done outside of it. Look at what he's done inside of it.
Tell him, Ezra.
Like, he had a season that he dropped MVP numbers in. He had 200 something hits, 342 batting average,
Preach, brother.
124 RBIs, 37 stolen bases. Like, these are MVP numbers nowadays. And this man was doing this on the regular back in the day.
Exactly.
And I also dropped that he's never struck out more than 40 times in a season.
Which is crazy,
Most
by
players
the way.
strike out 100 times in a season.
Exactly.
And
that
just to be like clear on this, he also won Rookie of the Year and stuff. He's played many different positions. I think when you think of Jackie Robinson, you gotta think of his on the field game as much as his off the field stuff, and that's why I genuinely think he is one of the greatest athletes, if not black athletes of all time.
And I want to stress that as well, because like I said, I'm not a baseball fan. You know, my sport was primarily soccer and basketball.
Yep.
And even me watching that 42 movie.
Oh man, this screaming scene always
to
gets
tell
me.
you.
Don't get me started. That coach, he was on the sideline. I was like, you know what, bro? Maybe I can get in the dugout.
Yeah,
you know
he
what I mean?
definitely got me
It just shows what
frustrated
he had
just
to go
watching
through,
it.
though.
Like,
No,
yeah.
exactly. You know, like, so yeah, Jackie Robinson is simply just, he has done so many things for black
So
athletes
many.
and just athletes in general. You know, and this next man coming up, you know, the champ. You know, Phillip,
yeah.
go ahead and
The
talk to us
champ,
about him.
man, the greatest of all time.
Facts.
And I'm going with Muhammad Ali. Muhammad Ali transcended the sports world in boxing form. You know, the adversity he had to go through when he got his title stripped. He was out the game for 5 years, but he never worried. He stuck to his guns. You know, this guy, like, I can remember only seeing highlights and clips of him, of course, because none of us was born back in that time. But, you know, when he did the rope-a-dope, you know, fighting Roy Jones, Joe Louis, and then also, oh, my God, I'm sorry.
You good?
He fought, oh, man.
And then he beat Joe. Listen, everyone, listen, you do not even have to be a Mike Ali fan, Muhammad Ali fan to know about that picture. He absolutely annihilated that brother.
Literally.
And that is just a staple in sports moments, you know? And he, like you said, not going to the draft, standing by his name, standing by his word, that shows a lot more than just how he is as an athlete. It shows how he is as a person. It shows his values, you know?
Absolutely.
He's true to himself and above everything. And my athlete that I'm going to go ahead and get into is Jesse Owens. A man who needs no introduction. Jesse Owens is one of the most notorious, iconic athletes we've ever seen in our time. You know, four Olympic gold medals, the only athlete to ever do it in our time.
Yep.
And in 1936 in Berlin, in a World War II, in a hostile environment, he went out there and he made a statement. First track Olympic, like I said, won 4 gold medals, 100 meter, 200 meter, long jump, and the relay. Set 3 world records in 1935, being in Michigan for only an hour, being at Ohio State. Shout out Camden Murray, I know he.
Ohio State, you gotta love it.
You know, Camden Murray's loving that
know.
one. And 100 meters in 10.3 seconds, 200 meters in 20.7 seconds, long jump with 8.6 meter jump. And then his 4th grade medal, right, 4 by 100 relay, which y'all might not know this, he got advice from one of his competitors on how to do it better. And he set the new team record for 39.8 seconds. And that alone is just, Jesse Owens is just someone who just really broke the barrier in many different ways. And if you guys have the time, you know, who's another athlete you guys can think of who just set the standard for black athletes, not even just black athletes, just athletes in general.
Ooh, oh man. There's a couple guys out there. There's a couple newer guys nowadays, you know, likes of LeBron. There's the likes of, you know, Jordan, of course.
Kobe beating Bryant.
Kobe Bryant.
You go with
putting
Jim
on-
Brown going to football.
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
man.
No, and
Walter Sweetness Payton.
Oh, Walter Payton's a
Walter
good
Payton,
one.
yeah.
Yeah, no, exactly. So these are just a couple of athletes to us who have just always been so important to us and affected us so many different ways. And all we can do is thank these athletes for continuing to do what they do each and every day. Next, we have black athletes in UCF history. So,
Yes.
believe it or not, we do go to University of Central Florida. Who would have guessed that?
Wow.
But,
Oh, my God.
So I'm going to go ahead and give it to Ezra first. Go ahead. Who's
All right.
your most influential UCF athlete?
I wanted to discuss a guy that just got recently inducted into the UCF Athletics Hall of Fame last year, and that is Latavius Murray. This man has been a consistently good running back in the NFL for a decent amount of time now. He's had his seasons where he's been really good. He's been a one-time Pro Bowler. He's had 1,000 rushing yards in a single season. Like, he's actually been a really decent NFL player. But his time at UCF also goes really, really deep. Like, he had 2,424 total rushing yards, 37 total rushing touchdowns, 6 total receiving touchdowns. Those are crazy stats to have in only 4 years of football. So to be able to do such a thing at that high level, I think he's very deserving of being in the UCF Hall of Fame.
Yes.
And I think he deserves a lot of recognition for it.
Yeah, I do think a lot of people do underrate Latavius Murray, especially his impact on the school. You know, he
doubt.
really was a foreman for the school. You know, and go ahead. Phillip, who was one of your black UCF athletes?
Well, it was Brandon the Beast Marshall.
Yes.
He went to UCF back in 2002 to 2005. You know, some of us was probably in elementary school, still in diapers around that time.
That was me. Yeah.
But he played a total of 44 games. He had 112 receptions, 1,678 receiving yards, 13 touchdowns. He also spent 13 in an NFL season. You know, I mean, I remember
consistency.
Consistency.
That's
yes.
consistency.
Pro Bowl. You know, I remember he playing for my Dolphins. You know, I loved the man. You know, and he also he still hold the record to this day with 21 catches in a single game. Like 21 catches in a single game.
Right?
Yes.
Mind you, we got receivers like Cooper Kupp, Tyreek
Justin
Hill, Jake
Jefferson,
Jettas walking around, Stephon Diggs. And
I'm trying to take 21.
Nah, can you do something for me?
21.
I'm not gonna lie, that's crazy. Man. I'm not gonna lie, that is
21,
actually
can
crazy.
you do something for
No,
me?
exactly,
Hey,
yeah. So
trying to tell you.
exactly, no. So exactly. So Brandon Marshall is definitely one of the most influential black athletes we have had to grace the school. 100%. We are forever grateful and forever blessed to have Brandon Marshall, and we are forever grateful and forever blessed to have the legend Jada Cody, the woman, the living legend Jada Cody. 2022 last season, broke the single season RBI record.
Yep.
Last season, she had 15 home runs with 75 RBIs. She completely revitalized the program and has been a main leader on the team for the last 2 years. She's someone that every woman can look up to, someone that every black athlete can look up to, and she is simply the standard. She even went and played for Team USA. She led her team to win the home run derby as well. And then let's not forget, last season was the best season in UCF softball history. You know, they took the team to the super regionals, won the regionals. You know, it was the first time we had ever made the tournament in school history. And being able to watch her at this time, it's so inspirational for me, because I used to play sports, you know, growing up, but it's so inspirational, you know, for other little girls who watch her each and every day. So how can that, you know, your kids of the future, you know, how does that impact you, her play?
Not even to mention, she's actually having a really good season this season.
Bro,
as well.
the season just started. Let's not get carried away. The season just started.
But no, it puts on for younger black women and to be able to prosper and become great. Because when you have such a good role model as Jay Cody, when you actually pay attention to how good she is, especially, I have 2 cousins growing up right now who are both black, and they are also playing softball. So to have her as like someone to look up to, it's ideal. Because when you actually watch her play, how great she is, how much she does, it's amazing. It's genuinely amazing. It's an honor to watch her play, honestly.
Yeah,
Most definitely.
Exactly, yeah. And it's just, along with Sarah Willis, who's another great player on that softball team, she's simply just been so focal and with the role this year. And, you know, we hope to see more and more growth in her going forward. And it's actually, it's really happening, you know, for people like me, like I said, just to see the growth of these players, you know, and especially when you watch them, it's more of just a sports impact, like we said, you know, like we talked about.